So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So hope you are enjoying this series, and now we are to continue with going on. So in the last video we saw the introduction of the line French against King's Indian attack, and where black plays the move b5. So now we have to see a game on this so that we can know the actual concepts of the game. So here we play the move. Black plays the move queen c7, and now we play the move queen e2, and now b5. Uh, so this is going to transpose your normal life, but e5 is by far the most better move because queen e2 is just transposing, but e5 opens more lines. So by e5, white is somehow forcing black to play this move, and now queen e2. So this is queen e2 is forced to protect the pawn e5, and now black starts with b5. So what's black's idea here is he tries to expand on the queen side, bring his pieces here, and try to defend on the king side. So first, but white has his resources, and we'll see them in this game. So let's continue forward. So knight f1, e5, expanding on the queen side, bishop to f4, and a4. So bishop f4 is a nice move because connects the rooks and also opens various opportunities for it. And now we uh, here black can also play this move, knight d4. So this is also good move. Black somehow tries to open some lines on the queen's side, and also tries to exchange this knight because this will help in attacking. So in this line, how can white play? So here white captures, black retaliates, and here white starts with h4. So here we will see a game by the great Bobby Fischer himself. Just a second, versus Geller. So in this variation here we have to see this game. So Fischer plays h4 and Geller plays rook a6. So this is a very good rook lift attacking on the open line. So Geller was also a good player in his time, in Bobby Fischer era. So knight to h2, bringing his pieces on the king side. Rook c6, attacking the c2 pawn, and now, oh sorry, rook to c1, rook a c1. So here black should play queen to b6, but he played the move bishop a6, prevent white's next move, that is uh, e6. So to prevent that, he should play queen b6 because now this diagonal is dangerous. e6, and now queen d7. Just a second. Rook c1, and here bishop a6. So now white's threat is to take, and so this takes, and now pawn push. Queen e8, pawn takes knight, and rook a6. This is, and queen g5. So queen is actually nice here, attacking on the king side, and now f5, queen h4, queen h5, and queen takes. Now knight to f3, g6, queen h6, bishop f6, rook takes rook, queen takes rook, and here comes a very good move. I would say the winning move rather, because the idea is that when he takes and double attack. So nice. And now rook first, pinning the bishop, pawn push, and now rook takes queen and queen d7, h5, pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn check, king takes pawn takes pawn, and now queen takes pawn, queen g7, rook g4, rook g5, pardon me, rook f7, queen h6, and now white has simply won because he is materially very up, and so pinning and winning. So notice how the bishop on a6 was a spectator throughout and a vulnerable one in that. So bishop a6 was a, I would say, inaccuracy and was a spectator of whole game. So yeah. So let's get back to our Ufarov versus Zakharov. And must I tell you, this game was played in Moscow 1995. And let's continue. So here, this is an important move a3. So there is also another move b3, which is also played in some variations after black plays the move a3. So this disrupts the white's queen's pawn structure. So a3. But you are told in openings and coaches that you mustn't move your pawn whenever you are not threatened on the side you are attacked on. So, but here Fischer found this novelty and he played the move a3, and now h4, b takes, and bishop a6. So finally the bishop gets developed and h5. So planning to probe for dark squared weakness with h5 h6, black now faces the difficult decision whether or not to prevent this possibility with h6. So black has to decide whether he should play the move h6 or not, because whenever he plays the move h6 there is always a threat of bishop takes on h6 and opening the king side, disrupting by black's king side. So here he just ignores the move h5 and plays the move rook b8, trying to create some pressure on the queen side, and black just advances his pawn and g6, knight e3. So this is a very good move because black actually can't play knight b6 because this will be a devastating threat for black. So here white will play knight g4 and knight d4. So this is actually the only playable line here for black. Other than that, eh, he should just move the queen because this bishop diagonal is very deadly here. So what game go? Just a second, my mistake. So yeah, uh, just yeah. So here, what is happening? So knight d4, knight takes d4, pawn takes d4, and knight takes d5. So this is a brilliant move, and white is winning actually in this position already, and he should play this move queen c5. If he takes, just for understanding, we will advance like I showed you in the Fischer game. Bishop d6, check, king f8, because he can't take actually. King f8, queen d6, so, and bishop f4 and mate. So here he has to play the move king h8, queen check, knight f8 because he can't take the move. This is because this is again we'll promote take and mate because he can't play this, because in this scenario we'll get checkmated by playing this and this mate. So just a second. Alright, so sorry, my mistake. And now the move where we were, yeah, c, so c into d4, knight into d4, and queen c5. So here knight takes, bishop check, queen takes, and bishop takes rook, bishop and queen. So white